Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to take a fascinating, and I mean deeply technical, detour. We're heading into the engine room of one of the most critical government operations in the United States, the Social Security Administration.
That's right. And we're not talking about policy. We're looking at the source code, the servers. Our source material today is the enterprise-wide IT Support Services Statement of Work.
Which is basically the foundational document for a massive contract, a contract that's all about modernizing the SSA's entire technology stack.
Exactly.
So our mission is to distill the most critical insights from this SOW. We want you to walk away understanding the SSA's current goals and really the monumental technological challenge they are facing right now.
And this isn't just some abstract government project. I mean, the stakes could not be higher for you, the listener. The SSA administers old age, survivors and disability insurance, and the Supplemental Security Income Program.
These are huge entitlement programs. They touch nearly every American family.
They do. And here's the driving factor, the real catalyst behind this whole document. They are bracing for a massive demographic wave. We're talking about over 70 million baby boomers reaching retirement age.
70 million. That's 70 million new users, new claims, new inquiries, all hitting a system that, frankly, was not built for the digital age.
Right. And that scale explains why the sources constantly stress automation, huge efficiency gains, and speed. They have no choice but to modernize, and they have to do it fast.
So the core mandate is to provide high-quality, secure services, but more efficiently and at a lower cost.
Precisely. And this entire technical transformation, it's all dictated by a larger strategic roadmap, which the SSA calls Vision 2025.
Okay, let's unpack that. Vision 2025. It sounds like it frames the entire mission for, well, every line item in this document.
Yeah.
What are its main pillars?
There are 3 strategic pillars, and they're really designed to guide this transition from, a traditional government agency to something much more flexible and customer-focused.
Okay.
So Pillar 1 is achieving a superior customer experience. This means moving toward customer choice, personalized services, basically consumer-grade technology. If you rely on the SSA, they want that experience to feel modern.
That immediately raises a question for me about the workforce.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just implement consumer-grade tech without retraining everyone. So what's the second pillar?
That's exactly it. The second pillar is fostering exceptional employees, making sure the staff has the training, the tools, and the infrastructure to actually handle these new systems in this massive workload.
And the third?
The third is creating an innovative organization, which is really the direct focus of this SOW. It means building that customer-centric infrastructure, developing a data-driven culture, and using cutting-edge tools.
This is where we get to the core conflict, isn't it? The sources highlight this central challenge of selecting and applying evolving hardware and software at a reasonable price.
That is a serious tightrope walk. It absolutely is. And the only path forward involves a massive architectural shift away from these, decades-old IT models. This SOW is leaning heavily on the benefits of cloud computing.
Which aligns with the OMB's federal cloud strategy going way back to 2011.
Right. And the goal of adopting the cloud isn't just about saving money. It's about accelerating data center consolidation and, drastically increasing the agency's ability to respond to change. Cloud is the platform for the future.
But it has to coexist with the past.
It has to.
Which brings us to the technical scope. This is where the true scale of the challenge just becomes crystal clear. The contract covers 5 core areas, but it's the contract in software engineering and data administration that really tells the story.
It's like a time capsule of technology. The sources are very upfront about it. A huge portion of the SSA's core mission-critical mainframe code is still written in COBOL.
COBOL. Common business-oriented language?
Yep. Alongside assembler language code and even Fortran. These systems are running on databases like DB2 and CA IDMSDB. We're talking batch processes, online CICS applications.
So systems developed in the 70s and 80s that have, reliably handled trillions of dollars in payments for decades. That's the legacy.
Correct. And they are reliable. But maintaining that infrastructure is getting harder, it's more costly, and just finding developers who are experts in COBOL, that's a serious logistical challenge in itself.
So the SOW isn't just asking for maintenance here. It's demanding a full-on evolution.
Absolutely. The contract requires development in modern open source languages. It specifically calls out Java or Linux environments. They're also pushing for methodologies like Agile and DevOps to speed things up.
What's fascinating is that the contractor can't just, ditch the old stuff. They have to seamlessly bridge the old and the new.
They're managing two vastly different technical ecosystems at the exact same time.
Now, for listeners who want those aha moments about how modern government actually operates, I think the requirements around data and analytics are key. It's not just about storing data anymore.
Not at all. They have to use it actively to improve service, to root out fraud. This is where Vision 2025 really hits the ground.
The SOW talks about a big data strategy.
It does. They need support for enabling a data lake repository concept. You can think of a data lake as this raw pantry where all the data, structured or unstructured, just gets stored before it's processed.
And what do they cook with all that data?
Well, they use it to feed a modernized enterprise data warehouse, or EDW. That's like the refined kitchen where authoritative data sources are cleaned, organized, and made ready for high-level business intelligence.
That connects directly to the 70 million boomer problem, right? I saw a specific requirement about predictive analytics.
Yes. They need predictive analytics to identify and model future customer needs. Where will demand spike? Which groups need which services? It lets them allocate resources proactively.
And fraud detection.
And advanced anti-fraud technologies. Using big data patterns to detect fraudulent behavior before it costs taxpayers billions. That proactive approach is the single biggest difference between the old mainframe model and this new data-driven one.
Let's tie this back to management. You said they have to manage two ecosystems. The contract also demands flexibility. Support for waterfall, hybrid, and agile methodologies. Isn't requiring all three a recipe for, I don't know, a massive headache?
That's a great question. It shows the SSA is being very pragmatic. They know that while you can build new customer-facing apps with Agile, you can't just refactor a COBOL mainframe that handles core payments in, 6-week sprints.
So they need contractors who can do both.
Exactly. Contractors who can handle the bureaucratic rigor of waterfall for core compliance projects, while also using modern Agile methods for web development and customer service portals.
Speaking of portals, I saw the scope includes tech, like chat, video, and audio integration.
It does. They're essentially trying to move the entire service center into one unified digital ecosystem.
Okay, let's pivot to the walls of security, Section 3. Because none of this modernization matters if the system isn't secure.
Not at all. When you're managing the private data of tens of millions of people, security isn't just a priority. It's the absolute foundation of everything.
The document is dense with compliance mandates. What are the key burdens under the Federal Information Security Management Act, or FISMA?
So FISMA is the umbrella, but practically it breaks down into two main buckets. First, any cloud technology they use has to comply with FedRAMP requirements.
And FedRAMP is the federal government's standard for security assessment and authorization of cloud products. It's incredibly rigorous.
It is. The second bucket is supporting crucial operational security initiatives run by agencies like OMB and DHS. Things like identity, credential, and access management, which is all about making sure only the right people get into the right systems.
And it mentioned continuous diagnostics and mitigation, or CDM. What does that actually mean in practice for a system this huge?
It's a critical shift. Instead of doing, say, an annual security audit, CDM requires constant real-time monitoring of the system's security posture. The system is always checking itself for vulnerabilities, for compliance errors, for potential intrusions.
So the contractor has to be doing scans and penetration tests continuously.
Continuously. And the level of control extends to physical assets, too, which really gives you insight into how sensitive this operation is.
I saw that. The rules about government-furnished information and property.
Yeah, and the one rule that really stands out is about travel. Government-issued equipment cannot be taken outside the continental United States, the CUNAS, without prior written approval from the Chief Information Security Officer.
Wow. So physical assets can't leave a strictly monitored zone.
Exactly. Which brings us to the operational logistics. This gives us a glimpse into the size of the workforce. While most of the contractors' work is remote, there is some required on-site work at specific SSA hubs.
And the geographic footprint is huge. This is not a centralized operation.
Not at all. We're talking about SSA headquarters and the National Computer Centers in Maryland, the Support Center in North Carolina. But then you layer on the 10 regional offices, Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, all over the country. This modernization is a truly nationwide effort.
I notice a requirement that speaks volumes. The standard for remote support is incredibly high. Contractor personnel have to respond to requests for virtual meetings or technical assistance within, what was it, 2 hours?
2 hours. It's essentially real-time availability. It means they cannot afford technical delays. If a system goes down or there's an emergency, that contractor has to be on a video call, ready to work, inside of 120 minutes. It just underscores the severity of any downtime.
That leads us perfectly into our final section.
Yeah.
Accountability. How does the SSA keep a contract this massive, spanning from mainframes to the cloud, on budget and on schedule?
The answer is rigorous reporting, an intense cadence of reporting designed to catch problems before they become catastrophic.
It starts weekly, right?
Yes, weekly reports and a weekly COTR progress review meeting, but the real oversight is in what I'd call the monthly reporting stack.
Walk us through that stack. It seems designed to scrutinize financial planning and resource allocation more than anything else.
It is. You basically have two types of reports, the technical status reports and then the financial oversight. This includes the monthly financial planning report, detailing full-time equivalents, FTEs, and the value of planned task orders.
And why are those detailed financial reports so critical, especially for a time and materials order?
Because cost control is paramount. These reports let the SSA track burn rates and make sure the contractor is assigning the right labor categories, the high-end engineers, to the right tasks. They have to justify every expense.
There's also that interesting requirement for a socioeconomic report.
Yeah, that report shows a clear commitment to using the contracting process to achieve broader economic goals. It tracks participation by small businesses, veteran-owned businesses, women-owned businesses.
So it integrates socioeconomic objectives directly into the technical performance monitoring.
It does. And finally, the standard for deliverables is just unforgiving. The time limits for corrections are really striking.
I saw that. If a contractor submits something that needs major revisions, they have only 10 working days to fix it.
10 working days. And for minor revisions, like a typo or a formatting glitch, they get 5. It sets this non-negotiable expectation of professional excellence from day one.
And all of that gets rolled up into the monthly performance assessment report, the PAR, which is measured across 6 core areas.
And those 6 areas really summarize the whole mandate. 1, quality of products or services. 2, schedule, which includes timely notification of problems. 3, cost control. 4, business relations. 5, management of key personnel. And 6, resource management.
This deep dive has laid bare the immense complexity and the operational scale required to run a 21st century government agency. The SSA is in the zone where decades-old core systems, COBOL, CICS, mainframes, have to be seamlessly integrated with cutting-edge tech.
Cloud deployment, data lakes, predictive analytics, all of it. The depth of these documents shows that the future of these entitlement programs relies not just on funding, but on meticulously managed technical expertise across dozens of contrasting platforms.
It's like they're building a digital highway that has to run right over the existing railroad tracks.
That's a great way to put it. They're linking the old world of BB2 and COBOL to the modern world of Hadoop, Java, and WebSphere, all while maintaining absolute security compliance.
So given the enormous scale of data analytics required, particularly for predictive modeling and fraud detection, the focus is clearly on efficiency. But here's something for you to consider. What might be the most critical yet unspoken challenge for the SSA in managing this? Is it the sheer velocity of the data flowing through this complex multi-platform environment, where real-time information is colliding with the inherent latency of batch processing? Could that be the single biggest hurdle?
A question of velocity versus legacy. That will absolutely define their success over the next decade.
Thank you for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.